Hey YouTubers, this is Blue Lightning back, updating a deck profile, updating Endymion. Let's get into it. Endymion, the mighty master of magic. He's the boss monster of the deck, and pretty sure you guys know what he does. But for those of you that don't, you can remove 6 spell counters from your field to special him from your pendulum zone. Then count the number of copies you control that have a spell counter. Destroy up as many cards on the field if you do place spell counters on the field equal to the number of cards destroyed. And his monster effect is once per turn. When a spell, trap, or effect is activated, you can return 1 card you control with a spell counter and negate the activation and destroy it. Then you can place the same number of spell counters on this card that the return card had. When this card has a spell counter, your opponent cannot target it with card effects and can't be destroyed by card effects. And if this card with the spell counter is destroyed by battle, you can add a normal spell. So this is Searcher, Destruction, and Negate all in one. Reflection. Pretty sure you know what she does. This deck is based off of spell counters. You can remove up to 3 spell counters in special, both this card and a pendulum from your pendulum zone and 1 monster from your hand. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 card your opponent controls and 1 card you control with the spell counter except this. Return both of them to hand and place spell counters on this card. And when this card is destroyed by battle, you can add an Endymion card from your deck to your hand. So this searches out specifically Endymion. This searches out any normal spell card. Magister. You can remove 3 spell counters to special this card from your pendulum zone and 1 face-up monster from your extra deck to place spell counters on. You can also remove 3 spell counters to special summon 1 monster from your deck to place spell counters on. If this card is destroyed, place it in your pendulum zone with the same number of spell counters. And one of the key cards in the deck, Servant. This lets you summon it and your Endymion from the deck. I'm only running Jackal King because he's the only one that I have. I'm just running 2 of them to keep the high monster count low, and he negates monster effects. Knights and Sorcerer. Pretty good monster tuner. You can banish cards from your opponent's grave. Effect Veiler. I don't really have any hand traps because I just brought this deck out of retirement. Chow Sai, the Ghost Stopper. I switched him in for the little Endymion guy. Neither player can activate the effects of spells and traps in the grave. You can banish a spell or trap if he's sent from the field to the grave. And Magical Citadel. This protects itself with spell counters and also is one of the main cards in your deck. Spell Power Mastery lets you search and add any Endymion card. You can only use it once per turn. Spell Power Grasp. I'm not a fan of this card, but again, it gives you counters for free. You can run this up to like 2, maybe 3. This gives you a whole new hand, pretty much. Pendulum Paradox. This lets you add 2 pendulum monsters with the same scale but different names. 1 to 2 Pot of Riches. If you have 3 pendulum monsters, In your extra deck, you can shuffle them into the deck from your grave or your face-up extra deck and draw 2 cards. You just can't battle. Mystical Bestiary. You'd mill 2 cards, and you can place a spell counter on something. And if this card is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can special 1 monster from your deck to place a spell counter on. If you do, so basically you get your big Endymion for free. Magician's Right Hand and left hand to negate spells and traps. The Grand Spiritual Art for monster effects. Obviously, some staples. Metaverse to get your Magical Citadel. Pendulum Reborn to special your Pendulum monsters back. Dark Renewal to get your spellcasters out of deck. Gagaga Shield to protect your big Endymion guy. And because this deck can brick quite a bit, Drowning. The extra deck, I don't really have all worked out yet, but Selene, Gigabyte Dragon, Ebon High. This is a fairly new monster, which isn't really bad. If he's destroyed, you can detach 1 material instead. Each time your opponent would activate a card or effect, except spell cards and effects, you can place a spell counter on this card. You can remove up to 3 to add a spell card or a spellcaster effect monster from your deck to your hand, or special ones, so you can special or add. Titan Galaxy, steal spells. Naruto, negate spells and traps. Shogi Rook, blows up spells and traps. Giant Hand negates monster effects. You guys know what Abyss Dweller does, negates grave, takes your monster, blows up spells and traps. This guy's fairly new too. If this card is special summoned or another spellcaster is summoned to my field, you can banish 1 card in your opponent's grave. This is destroyed by battle. Or if it's destroyed by opponent's card effect, you can special level 4 lower spellcaster from the grave. And then this guy's specials for free. That's it for Endymion. Hit like and subscribe. And comment what you think. Catch you on the flip side.